How's everybody doing today?
Great. You can go ahead, Brandon.
Okay. Could you just kind of update where you're at today and how did the guys come back after this past weekend?
Yeah, guys had a couple of days just to kind of catch their breath. Still had treatment and those types of things in the facility. Guys were great this morning. Typical game week Monday for us, and we'll come back later tonight and kind of get our normal down install and get ready to go. Guys are excited.
Afternoon, Coach. So obviously you got Memphis coming up next on the schedule. That's a pretty big matchup every year for UCF. How much more weight or spice does that add to the weekend's festivities?
Yeah, for us, we talked about it today. You look back at the history of this series here recently, two really good programs. There's a lot of guys on the field, both sides of the football, that have been involved in the game here, over the last couple of years. You look at the games, they've come down to the very end. You got prepared to put yourself in position to make the play that makes the difference in the ball game, and every play is that play. So have great urgency in the way we prepare on the field in our meeting rooms, and realize that you're going to play in a highly contested football game, and enjoy the opportunity of going back out on the road and playing in somebody else's venue.
Coach, through the work you guys did last week during the bye, obviously today, and then through the rest of this week, how confident are you that the pre-snap issues that you guys had the last couple weeks will not be as much of an issue this week?
Yeah, we've done some things to alleviate that. We've worked on it. We did that the week before too. Things didn't work out the right way, but I feel like we're putting our kids in the right position. Feel like they're focused and ready to correct those problems. Those are things that we can control. We got to be on the right side of it this Saturday. You can't play from behind the chains.
Josh, do you guys have any update on Trey Nixon or Marvin Williams, their status for this week?
Don't have an update on those guys here. Hopefully will as the week unfolds.
Josh, this is your fourth game this season. This will be the third one on ABC. In a weird recruiting cycle with really no visits or things like that. Normally there would be camps, etc. How helpful is it to play on national TV for a third time?
Yeah, I think it's great for us. Just and all the recruits that you talked through during the course of the early part of the season. Obviously, a bunch last week with it being a bye week. The opportunity for them to see your brand on national TV is critical. I think they get a real good taste and sense of what you're doing inside of your program. So it's huge in helping support your recruiting efforts.
In that Tulsa game, there were a few guys obviously banged up. Talk to your running backs. Richie Grant left the game. I know you don't like to talk about injuries, but these were some key guys. Are they expected back this week, especially those running backs and Richie?
Yeah, one of those unique games where guys got nicked up during the course of play. A lot of it early in the football game. I do expect all those guys to be back with us as we get ready to head to Memphis.
Yeah, Josh, obviously different coaching staff compared to the last time you played Memphis. What have you seen in terms of maybe what's similar with Silverfield or maybe what's different?
Similar in what they're doing offensively. I got a veteran quarterback that's experienced in the system. Offense coordinator was there a year ago as well, coached the quarterbacks. So really similar in what they're doing on that side of the football. Defensively, structurally, maybe a little bit different. Personnel's a lot that is the same. They're big, thick, strong up front. Their front seven make it tough to run the football. Again, that's a challenge for us as an offensive unit. Got to eliminate the penalties. Got to be efficient in the run game, play ahead of the chains.
Josh, what kind of development have you seen from a receiver like Jacob Harris? I mean, the guy was able to step up with his size and build, maybe to help you guys out outside of the worker.
Yeah, I think I talked to him last week. Actually, you asked that question, and just talked to him about how proud I am, just how much he's grown as a player from year to year. Young, inexperienced, our first year here, grew into a dominant special teams player. Last year, starts at the wide receiver position, playing more opportunities playing. And I thought he grew throughout the course of the year, but he's really taking his game to another level. Comfortable playing outside, playing inside, knows our schemes, is in the right place at the right time. He's spent a ton of time working on his hands. You can see that just in his consistency catching the football here in the early part of the season. So expect him to continue to grow as this season unfolds too, but really pleased with what he's done.
Josh, you've got a group of kids that's not used to losing. They've kind of had this bad taste in their mouth a little bit longer because of this bye week. What have you seen from the team's attitude as you get ready to try to get that bad taste out of your mouth this weekend?
Yeah, coaches want to get that bad taste out of their mouth too. I like that our kids aren't accustomed to losing. We have high expectations. There's high expectations around our program from the outside too, none higher than inside of our building. That's why our kids work and staff does the way that they do. Disappointed with the outcome. At the same time, as a competitor, you got to move on to the next one. You're only as good as your next one. That's whether you win or lose the previous game. It's something that we talk about. Our kids have turned the page, learned from the mistakes that you made. Don't make the same mistake twice, but I think our kids are excited about this opportunity. It's a really good football team on the road. It's you just look at the history of this game. It's important to our players, our coaches, and our program.
And Coach, trying to piggyback off of that, but specifically with Dylan Gabriel after a loss, you talk so much about him, how he's always in the building, he loves to study, he loves to know more, he wants to be better. How do you see him react or sort of act after a loss as opposed to maybe another win? Is there any changes at all? What do you see?
Yeah, it hurts him, right? He's a competitor. He wants to win. He wants to be perfect, right? Understand that you're playing a position that you never will achieve that. I think for him, the opportunity to learn and grow from it, but to move on too. I think that's really important for him. I think that's maybe a difference from a year ago is his understanding of what we're doing, what happened, and the ability to move on and turn the next page and prepare in a great way. And have seen that from him last week, but that's who and what he is.
UCF has won 13 games in a row against Memphis. The past few years, Memphis has lost some heartbreaking games, like in the conference championship. A lot of their players have talked about that in recent days, about how they're fired up to beat UCF and stuff. Obviously, you're just focused on the opponent. Is that something you bring up, that this is a team that's really going to be, I know you hear it every week, but this is a team that's really going to be gunning for UCF on Saturday?
Yeah, I think you realize that you're going to get everybody's best every Saturday. That's the way you need to prepare as a competitor. This morning, I talked about the 4 previous matchups, how the games unfolded. You got to be willing to play from ahead, play from behind, just play each play independently. And if it's going really good in a competitive environment like this, you keep your foot on the pedal. It's not going good, settle down, all 11, operate collectively together as one unit, settle down, do your job. These games have been wide open. You got to be willing to just go in there and compete with everything you got and play for 60 minutes. Expect that it's going to be a 60-minute football game.
Josh, going back to the false start penalties, I know communication is something you guys have worked on, but is tempo something that has maybe played a factor? It looked like there were some of those where maybe guys just weren't set yet.
There's instances where wide receivers got to get their cleats in the ground. Sometimes we're moving bodies, and quarterbacks got to recognize that the body's still in transition before he calls for the ball. Some of the things up front we can correct as well. All of it is self-inflicted wounds and things that we can control and do a better job of, and do anticipate with some of the things that we're doing that our kids are in a great position, and we'll play efficiently and eliminate those things.
Josh, Richie Grant talked about the desire to come back this season, even though there's a lot of uncertainty. What has he brought to this team this year, and what kind of growth have you seen from over the last couple of years?
Most mature and complete version of Richie Grant as far as how he prepares. He's got great urgency on the practice field in the meeting room. You see it on the defense side of the ball. You see it in special teams as well. He's doing a better job of being a leader in forcing and demanding that the guys around him prepare in that way as well. It was important for him to come back. He left the ball game the other night. First thing he said is, I don't want to let down my guys that I'm playing with. There's a sense of urgency and importance to the guys around him in this football team that he plays in a great way.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. We'll wrap up there, and we'll be right back with Dylan Gabriel.
Appreciate it, guys.